here's another thing about the NFL draft. I think the NFL draft is one of those really weird things because college football ends in January and the draft is not until the end of April or in May, early May, right? And you have these pro days, you have these interviews. We used to have the combine, and we watch people's stock go up and down and up and down and up and down. And it has nothing to do with the film. Has absolutely nothing to do with the film. And I think the film is probably the most, I would say it's the most important part. Now, when I interview you, I kind of want to know what type of person you are, what you do in your spare time, all of that good stuff. I want to know who you are. So I know that you fit in my locker room. But if you're going to a pro day, the stuff you do well there does nothing for me. You're throwing on air. You don't have on pads. You don't have a pass rush. There's very little pressure on you to perform what it is that we need you to do. If you're now, if you suck at your pro day, especially as a quarterback, if you suck, I'm done with you because you had time to prepare for this, and it shows me that you didn't prepare or your nerves got in the way. And if your nerves got in the way, I don't need you on my team. But ultimately, I'm going to rely on the tape. I'm going to rely on the tape. I'm going to rely on the interviews and stuff like that because we can get so caught up into what people look like in compression shorts and no shirt. We can get so in love with the straight line speed, these high verticals, these big hands, these bench presses. But what happens on the field? Let me see what happens on the field. And that's what is important to me, man. Um, and we see all the stuff going, player rankings going up and down and up and down. And I'd caution you all to pay more if you're looking at best players, man. Pay attention to the big boards. The big board is where the player is ranked, how the player is rated. The mock draft now is what teams want, what teams need, and what the people who are creating the mock drafts are hearing. You'll never see me do a mock draft because, for one, I don't watch film. I don't talk to people. So I would have an uninformed mock draft, or I'll just be copying somebody else's stuff. Now, I might put together some picks of stuff that I like. Ooh, I like to see this player here. I like to see this done there, but I would never pitch it as a mock draft because that would insinuate that I'm projecting what's going to happen in the draft. So they changed because people are saying stuff. They're putting information out. They use the big mock drafts to try to get other teams off of a player's trail so that maybe they could grab the player for where they want them. If they're behind that team, they can't move up. It's just teams manipulating to maximize value. So honestly, don't lose any sleep over mock drafts. I look at them because I like them. It's cool to me, but it's not something that I place a lot of emphasis on because it is what it is, man.